Hello and welcome to AidanEyewitnss. I'm here in Salford in front of Salford Lads Club, now known as Salford Lads and Girls Club. A very historic place, famous for the photograph of the Smiths taken in 1985 by Stephen Wright, and it has a history going back over 100 years. It's an excellent place to visit. I would definitely recommend it. It had some funding problems, but those have been solved now and renovation is going ahead. But what's the connection with the project I'm featuring in this video? Well, it's just a 10-minute walk away from here. So we'll head in that direction and take a look at the local area. The portal is iconic and it's a place where lots of people have selfies. And looking down the original Coronation Street, this is the attractive Regent Square. The area is a mixture of renovated older houses and newer ones from the late 70s, early 80s. This is the busy A57 Regent Road, the main route west out of Manchester city centre. Let's take a look at some old photographs of Regent Road. There's nothing much to say except that what we see in these photographs is a lost world. There's virtually no reference with the present. Everything has changed. Only Regent Road Bridge provides a reference point. That too has changed over the course of time. So when I first heard about the project, I thought it was going to be taking up the whole of this car park, the Sainsbury's car park, and would extend all the way to the back. But in fact, it's only the rear part of this site which we think of as the trading estate. So this is it, Regent Retail Park, and it's home to a number of outlets, shops, including some charity shops. All of these will be demolished to make way for the new project, and there will be green areas where the car park is now. And from the past, we now look into the future. This image issued by the architects Matt Brook, that's Brook with no S. It's a view of the project looking from the north. We are over Salford, above Chapel Street, around 300 feet up. To the left, there are several projects that have been completed since this visualization was created. In this axonometric image, we are looking down at the project from the southeast. We can see it's right next to the railway. Sainsbury's is in the lower left. In this view, the arrow indicates how different building heights have been arranged by the architects to form a curve. I love this sketch looking from the west. Was it hand-drawn by the architect himself, Matt Brook? And here's a detailed photorealistic visualization of the Regent Road project on the left, Trinity Islands on the right, with the River Irwell in between. And now some drone views taken by Cinemaker on the 27th of January 2024. We are flying over Sainsbury's car park, and there's Sainsbury's supermarket. And just to be clear, this is not part of the development site, which is to the right of the access road crossing diagonally through the image. The small wedge-shaped Costa Cafe does not appear in the plans. Is it set to be demolished? And there we can see the retail units housing JD, Boots, Cancer Research UK, Sports Direct, Home Bargains, Pets at Home, YMCA and TK Maxx. The retail park is used by people from outside the area. I've used it lots of times. Definitely check out Cinemaker's channel. Just type @Cinemaker into YouTube. On Google Maps, I measured the site. I make it 300 metres by 50 by 350 by 150 metres. A total of around 33,000 square metres, or 4.5 football pitches. And now we have a plan looking directly above with green spaces in between. The towers of different heights have been arranged at different angles. Now we are at ground level looking west into the green area. Bright sunshine, birds flying, light pouring through the trees, an idyllic vision. Not like today. And finally, this mid-air view of the octagonal shaped building from the Matt Brook website. It's called the Fulcrum Building. If you look at mattbrookarchitects.co.uk, you'll see an animated version of this and the previous image. Very impressive. In the original plans for the project, there were no affordable homes, but
Then the developers, Henley, said they would commit to including 660 units classed as affordable. That reportedly persuaded the planning committee to give their approval.
So that's it. The project is going ahead. Will it result in a concrete jungle, overwhelming local services, the end of Ordsall as we know it? Or will it be a welcome addition to Salford's housing stock, a great place to live, putting a big dent in the council's waiting list? Well, that remains to be seen. But were local people ignored? Shouldn't they have been incorporated better into the decision-making process? Well, I saw another project, controversial. Local residents are really opposed to it. It's down in London, so let's go and take a look. We'll head up to Piccadilly Station. We're here at Piccadilly Station. There's our train, 11:55. So we're off to London now. I've arrived at London Euston. Actually, I didn't take the train. I took the bus. If I'd taken the train, the return fare from Manchester to London would have been £70 with my rail card and over £100, I think about £105, £106 return on the train. How much did I pay on the coach? That's National Express. £13.50. That's with a 10% Black Friday discount.
As usual, the National Express coach made its way to Victoria Coach Station along Park Lane, past the exclusive district of Mayfair, playground of the super rich. The people of Mayfair don't tend to take the coach, they're more likely to take the Merc or a private jet. It's a far cry from the Salford district of Ordsall, but what's the connection between the two? Well, the UK office of Henley Investment Management, the people behind the Regent Road project, is located down one of those streets. Some may say these people from down south, they're out of touch with the people of Ordsall. They're only in it for profit. But it has to be said, all commercial developments have to make a profit. If they don't, the project stalls or goes bust. If, thanks to the Regent Road project, just a tiny fraction of the unimaginable wealth concentrated here in Mayfair were to trickle down to the people of Ordsall, surely that would be a good thing, wouldn't it?
We've arrived at the location. This is the Barbican, begun in the 1960s, finished in the mid-70s. Look at those three incredible towers. Is this a foretaste of what's taking shape in Manchester?
But right next door to the Barbican, there is a controversial project that's been proposed. Many people living in the Barbican are bitterly opposed to it. It's a plan for a 20-storey Jenga-like structure designed by the famous Skidmore, Owings and Merrill architectural practice, right next to the Barbican's Cromwell Tower. The 1990s office building on the site will be torn down to make way for it. A spokesman for the Barbican residents described the plans as a devastating blow to the architectural and visual coherence of the iconic Grade 2 listed Barbican. Other residents have said they'll lose daylight from their apartments. To me, this proposed building seems to challenge the primacy of the Barbican, an icon of post-war architecture, now well loved by its residents.
This section here reminds me very much of the Crescents in Manchester, the infamous Crescents built in the 1960s, but soon they were slums and were eventually demolished. I must say I'm very impressed with the Barbican Centre. It reminds me a little bit of a couple of the projects under construction in Manchester. I'm thinking of Waterhouse Gardens. It too has split levels and a pedestrianised area, although it doesn't have a lake like here. One question is, do the economically favoured residents of the Barbican in the City of London have more clout than the residents of Ordsall in the City of Salford to stop projects that they don't like? So let's head back to Victoria Coach Station.
And so we return back to Ordsall, to the development site, and by way of conclusion, Here are some more questions. Is that relatively new Costa Coffee building going to remain? Will new retail units open elsewhere to replace the ones that'll be lost? Will the new project turn out to be, as one protester predicted, a concrete jungle, the end of Ordsall as we know it? Or will it become an established residential location, contributing to the prosperity of a new Salford? Will the developers Henley be able to deliver on their commitment to provide the apartments classed as affordable? How will local services cope with the influx of new people? How will the rest of Salford and Manchester look in the future, after the same number of years since the Barbican in London was built? I'll keep an eye on things, and we'll be able to look back at these pictures to see how things were before the changes. If you'd like to support what I'm doing, you can donate via Buy Me a Coffee, consider channel membership, or book a photo walk in Manchester or Liverpool. Please like, subscribe, share and post a comment. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen und auf Wiedersehen in Ordsall.